About artificial intelligence and why it is important for tasks of artificial intelligence. Today, when we're speaking about tasks for artificial intelligence, we understand that they are used almost everywhere. If today in an area you cannot see them around, sooner or later they will come there and become part of your work, part of what you do every day. We see how it is used in agriculture, in power, in medicine, in finance, in transport, and more cases are around now. 5 years ago, for instance, it was hard to find cases that were successful in terms of in their industries. No problems with that today. The question is mostly about what to select and what to speak about. For today's presentation, I decided to select 2 cases of successful implementation of tasks with artificial intelligence. First, example from Brazil, where a company utilizing TensorFlow together with Intel's Xeon solution utilized around 35,000 cameras, accumulated more than 40 million violations that brought around $1 billion in fines. And this was a large solution deployed in Brazil. Another example from a completely different area is tackling the problem of illegal activities. Rangers use surveillance cameras. Standard cameras are usually very noisy and they consume much energy and cannot work for a long period of time. But with Mavidio's processors, we are able to detect moving objects and send signals, and we can respond to it to defend poaching. Tasks of artificial intelligence actually cover a lot of areas. This means accumulation and processing of initial data, cleaning up the data, normalizing the data, and then transmission of this data for various algorithms and selection of algorithms from classic algorithms, analytics, machine learning that are applied everywhere for many years now, up to modern algorithms. I mean, algorithms that are applied widely today, algorithms of deep learning, and combination of various algorithms. And as a result, what we see is a variety of tasks of algorithms, variety of utilization leads to various solutions on the basis of which they are built. And the question that is always asked, and when tackling a task, the question is what platform should be used. Inside the company, we think that for the majority of tasks of artificial intelligence, there are a lot of them. The central processor is quite okay. For some tasks, depending on the load, you can use graphic or specialized computers like Habana. And all these things are good, but from the other side, it creates a challenge and a problem for developers of such solutions. Usually, the amount of instruments, the set of instruments and program languages and program models are different comparing against these solutions. So the comprehensive program model is available for central processor, but for graphic or for accelerator, these sets are very limited. And this means that today, usually, questions of resolving various tasks, practical tasks, start with selecting a platform for it. And if for a reason at the beginning of this path a mistake was made, the way from idea down to implementation might take too much time and calls for many cycles to be embedded. A year ago, we announced a new program model which is called oneAPI. This is cross-architecture program model that allows you to free developers from this problem I just mentioned and focus on the tasks they tackle. And this program model is unique because it is open and is structured on standards. It can give you maximum productivity, but can start in Intel processors and other architecture. And apart from that, it is compatible with the existing program models like C++, openNP, Fortran, NPI, and it does not substitute it, but enhance it. As I said, we announced in 2019, and the program model, if we look at it deeper, consists of several elements. First of all, this is language, C++. That is a cross-architecture language based on C++ and SQL, a number of libraries that are specific for domains, and moreover, a low-level layer that abstract away the task from the hardware it is being operated on. And it allows us to create PyTorch, TensorFlow, or other comprehensive solutions, irrespective of what happens lower, and focus on innovations. So let's speak more about the elements oneAPI consists of. First thing to mention is language, DBC++. DBC++ language is based on two standards. First, C++, and that's the language that is widely applied. And apart from that, we added SQL into it. That's what Cronus does with heterogeneous, effective heterogeneous calculations. And apart from these two, we introduced some amendments, changes that allows you to go with two languages in a more effective ways. And these amendments will get back and into C++ and SQL, depending on where you apply them. And it allows us to enhance the current languages and add new languages and use what we have everywhere. Libraries. When we're speaking about libraries, some of them you're probably familiar with them, and they've been applied for the central processor for a long period of time, quite widely. And we enhanced support for various accelerators for various architectures and created interfaces, APIs open. We make them open, and any company can use them to do development with these languages and use it in various architectures. Speaking about the initiative, well, we need to think about the way we covered, the path we covered. A year ago, we announced this initiative, the standard we work together. This is not only Intel's initiative. A lot of industrial partners joined us, companies and certain universities, that allowed us, through iterations and joint operations activities, to achieve the first version of specification that is available today. It can be used by various companies just a couple of months ago. And apart from specification, we also launched implementations like Hot Play Company. They allow for oneAPI in NVIDIA GPU, and Heidelberg University just recently announced they work in importing and using oneAPI for it to be launched on AMD graphic processors. And speaking in general, a lot of industrial partners supported our initiative. More than 60 organizations, as of now, from various areas, participated and supported work on the standard and its application and implementation of such solutions in their apps. And as for the recent solutions, what can be of interest for those who are interested in artificial intelligence, our work with TensorFlow, the most popular platform, and Microsoft Azure, also popular platform for artificial intelligence, they see this initiative as a very useful one, and they start utilizing it in their solutions because they understand that the variety of calculators and tasks artificial intelligence is tackling today call for such program model that allows you to make their solutions irrespective of the end architecture and use the full productivity as much as possible. As an initiative, we also have implementation in place just in a week or a couple of weeks. We plan to launch the gold version of the product. Basing on the specification that we've launched, we offer the product oneAPI. This is Intel version that consists of several elements. Of course, this is the language DBC++, and the product for transition and importing the code from other sources from CUDA into DPC++ and the API libraries that can be used, I mentioned before, and various solutions and apps that can be used to optimize your code and have it as productive as possible. If we speak about specific examples, specific solutions, first is DPC++ compatibility tool. If you have an app that is done in CUDA and you want to import it into C++, this tool allows you to generate readable code, and around 80 to 90% of code is migrating automatically, usually. And then you just have to add what is needed, usual process of development. This is very convenient. Our experiments show that this is quite effective. We also see examples and the need for solutions we used before is using central processor also to enhance it over other architectures and languages. So analysis and debug tools for apps. Intel has a wide range of such apps that prove to be very effective. Our advisor that allows you to define the elements of code that can be more effective in Accelerator, for instance, and offer it for the developer. Debug solutions and WeTune that also allows you to analyze several separate elements of the code, certain elements of the code, and find areas that can be optimized even more. We combined various elements of oneAPI, what we call toolkits, set of solutions and apps, and we see there are various areas here. Depending on what you are doing, you might need either basic tool, basic kit with all elements needed for development, or specific domains. For instance, if we're speaking about high productivity calculations and rendering tasks, the solutions that use oneAPI, those that can be of interest for developers who are here today with us. Of course, this range is also includes things for artificial intelligence and OpenWin we are talking about today. Apart from just using it today, we give an opportunity to use these apps free of charge. You can download it. Our goal is that apps and software go to developers and users in the most convenient way. So you can use containers, repositories, or active means of downloading. And we also have a cloud. I will touch upon it a bit later. Apart from a free-of-charge solution, we offer a commercial one, commercial support that can be used by anyone. Experts know these products very well, and some of them participate in development of such products. And this helps users to have answers to their questions very quickly and on a very high level. So this is all good, but I think many might have a question how it looks like in real cases. Despite the fact that we've been working on this solution for a year now, we have quite successful cases of utilization. For instance, this institute in Berlin that works with an app simulating tsunamis. And this app was developed in CUDA, and the university in Berlin got interested in our offer, in our product model, and they participated in this work using the set of apps for migration of code. Around 95% of the code was automatically automatically migrated, and then just manual things to fix everything. And as a result of such migration, interestingly enough, the final app was successfully launched on central processor Intel Xeon, and on graphic processors it was launched on FPGA. And another very interesting thing, the most interesting, is that the code that went into TPC++ went back on NVIDIA P100 platform, and from the initial productivity on CUDA, we lost just the institute lost just 5%. So we see how you can write your code once and launch it in all available infrastructures, not just coming from one producer. So I mentioned DevCloud. We understand that in order to select the final solution and try it, no one wants to download it and look at how it works and try and find platforms where you can launch it. Again, we made it more convenient and started working in DevCloud. This is a sandbox where there are various architectures, various processors like central processor and graphic processors, various FPGAs, and pre-installed oneAPI version is there. Any user can go there and try it and have a look at it. Have a look at how it can be launched in various architectures. And apart from that, also out there are various training elements. For instance, Jupyter Notebook, tutorials, use cases. We are very open to not only make you acquainted with the new program model, but to train the users how to use it. And it might seem strange if a model is distributed without active utilization of it in the industry and in ecosystems. Intel is a company that is famous for its large work in development and development of ecosystem, and our work includes various trainings and working with academia. There are centers of excellence and universities that tackle their tasks today. 3 universities are working in science using data, say C++, and the model in general. So this is the community that supports us, and various events we are arranging around the world, including Russia. There are also a lot of resources. Unfortunately, I cannot put them all into a short presentation we're having today. We cannot show you the whole amount of work a lot of people have done, including those in Russia, to create a breakthrough project that allows us to go to a new level of development, level of work and interaction and cooperation, and make a revolution, sort of, in the area of development of how developer can interact with the architecture and go to a completely new quality level. So I will be very glad if you have information. We will have a lot of information available around it, about the initiative, about the product, about how to work with the ecosystem. We ask everyone interested in developing it in the future to participate. We are sure that in open interaction we will all be successful. And to conclude, as we see, the wide distribution of various tasks that we have, including tasks for artificial intelligence, lead us to the need to create a heterogeneous architectures where we use various accelerators and calculators. And the problem we see today is that all of them are in fact based on various program models, and it means that they do not give us an opportunity to tap the potential, and they limit you, people who tackle practical tasks. We offer a new initiative, an open program model that as of today proved to be quite effective, and we believe that in the future it will have even wider distribution and spread. We want developers to tackle their tasks and the things related to platforms, things related to platforms and optimization, these tasks should go to those who work in this, and we offer various solutions and apps for such tasks also. So this is it from me. I'm ready to answer your questions, please. Ivan? Yes. Thank you very much for your presentation. Intel is tackling this task on very global, fundamental level. I have a question from my side, my own question. So, could you please tell us how can one join your teams, your developers community, who are now drafting the next generation of C++? If we're speaking about developers, indeed we have a lot of developers who work in tasks, and in Nizhny Novgorod, I should say, in Moscow, in Russia, we have one of the largest research centers outside of the United States. I think that Russian developers are famous across the world, and we have more than 1,000 people working with us here. We have a large department that is growing constantly and developing, and a lot of vacancies, a lot of positions to fill in, and we tackle very interesting tasks. I think it's always interesting to work with challenging tasks, but it is important that they're challenging as well. We have a large team who are very welcome, who is always glad to take new people. You are welcome. Very good. If you want to work in the key areas in developing the future basis for AI, I think Ivan's team will help you with this. Definitely. Absolutely. Thank you very much.